All right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dustin Mansell, all the way over here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been self-employed now for about 7.5 years. And obviously, like everybody else, when Corona happened, I was stuck, could not work, and I was brought to the attention of self-employed tax credit, where we could get up to $36,220 back. And I figured, why keep it to myself? Let's go ahead and share it with everybody. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know we're not one of those firms that are going to charge you 20% fees, which is robbery. We're not going to charge you 25% fees either, which is even higher robbery. Let's just say you got a $23,000 return, and if you had to pay 20% fees on that, you would end up having to pay $4,600 on that, which is super, super high, especially when the average person the average CPA is charging way less. So that's not what we do here at 1099 tax credit. Okay, the average CPA, as I mentioned, they're charging about $500 per year. What does that mean? So 2020 and 2021, there's a fee to do each year. Well, they charge on average about $500 per year. But guess what? We're even lower than that. We'll get into that here in a minute. First, let's take a look at what the FFCRA is. That's Family First Coronavirus Response Act, where you can be eligible to get a refund of up to $36,220 due to COVID relief measures. Right here on the IRS website, the official IRS website, you can take a look exactly what it is. Paid in sick family leave credit. Right here, it also says FFCRA. So that's how real this program is. It's on the IRS website, okay? So eligibility to even become, get this credit, right? Did you take a break in 2020 or 2021 due to COVID-19 or to look after somebody with COVID-19? Did you take any time off to cater to a child under 18 to school or daycare closures? Did you report self-employed income tax under Schedule C? If those any of those answers are yes, you will most likely will qualify. Now, the credit amount and categories, they go from a sick leave, which is you get a maximum of 10 days for 2020 and a maximum of 10 days for 2021. The credit amount is $511 per day. And as I mentioned, it's a max of 10 days for each year. So the annual credit for both these put together, the maximum would be $10,220 for both years, right? Now, family leave credit, if you have anybody who was under 18 that you took care of because of school closures or daycare closures, well, you could, maximum days in 2020 is 50, maximum days in 2021 is 60, and they give you a credit of $200 per day. The maximum annual credit, both those combined, is $22,000. There's also some other ones in there. If you took care of anybody that was, elderly person or something like that as well, those are the added $4,000 credits. And I'll show you guys a form that you would fill out before you even move forward with this. Okay. So eligibility for a refund: sole proprietors, LLC operators, business partnership members, other people with Schedule C and Schedule self-employed income, right? Joint filers with both spouses. If you are, then you're going to have to fill out a 7202. Also, if you are an S Corp business that pays owners as employees, you are excluded. You do not qualify for this self-employed tax credit, okay? Now, this is going to be great for Uber drivers. This is great for truck drivers. This is great for real estate agents. This is great for network marketers. This is great for barbers. Anybody who does your hair, your nails, most of them rent out those booths from those spots, and they qualify as self-employed, okay? Frequently asked questions. What is the 1099 tax credit fee? So what do we charge for this? Okay. First of all, we don't charge anything. Our firm that we linked up with, they charge $797 for 2 years and $427 for 1 year. Some people may not have been self-employed in 2020. They only were self-employed in 2021. So if it's only 1 year, they're going to charge you $427, which is remarkably lower than what other CPAs are charging. And most of those CPAs are not specialists in tax credit, which our firm is. I say this: if you're going to go get knee surgery, would you go to your family physician or would you go to a knee specialist? Well, if you're going to go and get this refund, you're going to go to a family CPA that doesn't know anything about these tax credits, or go to a specialist. I'm pretty sure what the answer is. Okay. Is there any upfront fees? Yes. These fees are due before they will start moving forward, but you will also know what you're going to or not going to get back before you move forward as well. Okay, because the way that they do these credits is your net income. Now, you're not going to be able to put together exactly what it is. I'm going to show you that form here in a minute. But your net income from 2019 to 2020, the reason why we like 2019 is we could actually use those numbers instead of 2020 if the numbers are higher in 2019, okay? sick or quarantine days, cared for a loved one, school or daycare closures. We went over that, right? So the form kind of looks like this. On our website, you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to put your email right here. You'll be able to go and fill out if the 2019, 2021, if you're qualified for 2019 and 2020 and 2021, right? You'll click these right here. Next, what you'll do is it'll go to how much money did you make? So this is 2020 right here, right? How much money did you make? You put your number in here. If your net income on line 6 of your Schedule SE form, your 1040, if you already filed your taxes and you would have got this, you should have this. And on your line 6, you would put the number in here, okay? And by the way, if you haven't filed your taxes, then we could handle this for the same exact price as well and really work these numbers to benefit you to make it to where you did make enough money and you'll get more money back in the credit. But you'll put how many numbers, or how many day, or how much money you made in line 6. Right in here, you put how many days that you took care of, a spouse, or were you out, or whatever the case is. You'll put the dates in here as well. You'll come in here and you'll go, how many days did you take care of a dependent that was under 18? That was due to school closures or daycare closures. Right in here, if your spouse, this is your spouse's information too. Nope, your spouse's information is up here. That's your spouse. This right here is a dependence. This right here is the same exact thing for 2021. You fill out the same deal. How much did you make on line 6 of your Schedule SE form 1040? You put that number in here. You put how many days you were out, and then at the end, it'll let you know exactly what you're going to be due back if you did everything correctly. It's on you to go and find your 1040s and put the line 6 in there and how many days you were out and how many days you had to take care of a loved one or a dependent under 18, and this will let you know how much your refund is, okay? Then it shows you what it is not taking out our fee, so that you'd get back total of $19,799.70 if this was the case in this one right here, right? So before you move forward, you have the decision. If you're only going to get back $1,000, may not be worth it to do $797. But if you're going to get back $19,000, you're probably going to want to go pay the $797 and get it started as soon as possible, so you can get your money back as soon as possible, right? So as I mentioned, you don't pay until you see what you are going to get back. And then once you pay, then they start moving forward and they file the amendment for you, okay? Required documents that they're going to need. By the way, on that form that you fill out there, you also will, there'll be a link in there once you pay the $797 to upload all your documents and to sign the agreement, and to also to give proof that your school or daycare was closed. That's the only thing that they need proof from. They don't need proof if you were out sick. They don't need proof, none of that. They need proof that your daycare was closed or your school was closed. My school was closed for my kids for sure. I have emails from both the schools that they were in. And so I have that. So they're going to want that documentation as well. Okay. So frequently asked questions. What if I already filed my taxes in 2020 and 2021? Well, all our CPA is going to do is file an amendment on your tax return. And they're going to require from you is your 2019 if you have it, 2020 if you have it, and 2021 and if you have it, tax returns and a copy of your driver's license, and they're going to handle the rest. Also, if you were, as I said, your kids were home because of school or daycare closures, we'll need proof of that as well. And we're going to need on the form that you're filling out the dates that you were out sick. And by the way, if you have a spouse, you guys can't be out sick the same days, right? Also, if your kids were out of school for those 60 days, you cannot be out sick for those 60 days as well. Has to be all different. So if you were sick maybe from April 1st to April 11th, that would count for your 10 days. Your spouse wouldn't then need to be sick whenever they were sick from May to whatever. You guys cannot be sick at the same exact time, okay? When was FFCRA created? Well, the Family's First Coronavirus Response Act, it was signed into law on March 18, 2020 to address the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was meant to provide paid and sick leave and expanded family medical leave until December 31st of 2020. Subsequently, the American Rescue Plan, the ARP, signed into law on March 11, 2021, and addressed a continuation of these provisions and included payroll tax credits for such paid leaves, okay? Some more frequently asked questions. What qualifies for missing work due to COVID? Well, if you were infected, if your family member was infected, were you exposed? Right? Was there a workplace outbreak? So you had to stay at home in quarantine because there's a workplace outbreak. Health concerns, a lot of people with diabetes and cancer survivors and elderly people, they don't want to go outside. So that counts too. Mental health concerns. Okay. childcare and school closures, preventative measures. You know, did you have to work from home? Right, travel restrictions. I know myself, I didn't travel to Hawaii, but some of my friends did travel to Hawaii, and they had to literally be stuck in a hotel room for 7 to 10 days until that was a quarantine action. So that counts as being sick as well. Okay. Is there a ton of paperwork? No, I just showed you guys the form that you guys put in there. You guys already have the paperwork. You guys already have your driver's license. You already have your tax returns. So you upload those bad boys. The only thing that you may have to go find, as I mentioned, is the proof that your school was closed, proof that your daycare was closed. That is it. Okay. So why wait? Get back with the awesome person who brought you to this presentation to see how you get back up to $36,220 and get started ASAP. I can tell you this much. Right now, they're stopping the electronic filing for anything. You can't even file your taxes from last year electronically right now. There's not going to open it up until February 20th of next year. We're still going to run all these numbers for everybody. We're still going to charge a $795, and we're just going to do it as a first come, first serve basis. The first one that goes, they go first on the list. The second one goes underneath. So the quicker you get this, the quicker you'll see how much you can get back. The quicker you'll pay your $795, and you'll be the first to have your electronic file sent in. Okay. That being said, is there any questions that anybody may have before we close this presentation?